All right, well, we'll move on to agenda item 4, discuss and act on updates and progress related to the American Rescue Plan monies and the County Annex project and all related issues. Commissioner Stacy.
Yeah, and I do have a presentation that I'm gonna walk through. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a full update of where we are with the ARPA and where we are with the Annex. So on court today is the second to last PCO and the second to last change order. The reason that it's second to last is that we still have, as of yesterday, we have one audit item left with Hill and Wilkinson. So we have released all the retainage for everyone but Hill and Wilkinson. So on the paid claims on the next court, you will see kind of most of the rest of the annex being paid out. And then we're trying to settle up with Hill and Wilkinson. The reason that we're kind of okay with that is that we still haven't delivered the furniture. The second order of furniture comes the first week of January. So I would expect that sometime in January we would finish closing out Hill and Wilkinson. And then we would then have another series, what we did, another PCO, another CO, and another MOU. We did talk to Grant Works, or at least I did in detail, thanks to Craig's observation last week. And that is that the money is, we were told forever and ever you have to obligate all the money before the end of this year. But since the money's obligated, they have another final rule, as they like to do, final rule probably 150. And they said that if it was obligated on a construction project, you can unobligate it as long as you immediately put it into something else. So we will be able to finish the annex, do this whole exercise one more time. And then you say, well, why didn't you wait? Well, the reason we didn't wait is because we're trying to spend all the ARPA money as fast as possible. If you recall, the first phase of the sheriff's office is pretty expensive. It's the bulk of the work. So we're trying to get all of that spent. That gets us out of all the ARPA reporting, gets us to close out ARPA, makes Lisa's office happier because then the federal grant is over with. So that's what we're trying to do. And so we're about to do a big procurement stage on the sheriff's office side, getting a bunch of materials for all the different phases. And so now's a really good time to move it over. So kind of with that, I was going to walk through ARPA. It started with $20.3 million grant from the federal government. This came out of the American Rescue Plan, which is why we call it ARPA money. We were able to basically turn this into a huge countywide investment, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. And this was been done not just with our court, but the court before Frank and Dana and I got on court, and then the court with the three of us and Dennis Bailey and Cliff Sevier, and then also with this court. So the commitment to make this money get the most for the citizens of Rockwall County has been the entire process. Everyone's been really good. The county treasurer with his investments and the county auditor who I've probably stressed out trying to make this money stretch further. What you will see on change order number 7 is a $3.7 million under budget annex project. So through a lot of diligent work, the annex is going to come in right around $13.5 million. That number will change a little bit with CO8 because we haven't finished it, but I just wanted to say that is what you're seeing. You're seeing a building that started at about 17.3 and is now going to be around 13.6. And so we did have some very significant savings in the construction of the project. Also, the annex generated $2.3 million of interest that ended up going into the third floor. So we were able, because of, like I said, the good work from the courts, the treasurer's office, and the auditor's office was able to get the third floor done. As Barry mentioned, that was a project that seemed very far in the future, but then all of a sudden the state legislator gets us a district court, and we've got to finish that project. We were also able to take about 50% of the sheriff's budget for that remodel came from ARPA funds. So we were able to take what we thought would be one project and actually turn it into 3. If you do recall, we were able to purchase about $216,000 in also sheriff vehicles with ARPA interest under the budget cycle. So it's really exciting that we were able to build an annex, get the courtrooms, get the sheriff's office to a fully funded and buy necessary vehicles that we want. So I would say that we as a county, as a group project, it wasn't just one person, I think did an excellent job managing ARPA for the public. We had good investments from the treasurer, leadership and vision from the county's auditor and the county auditor staff, and then a commitment from 3 courts, not just 1 court, not just 2 courts, but 3 courts to see this through. And then we also worked with a lot of partners. And then a special thank you goes out to Barry Compton, who had to endure working through 3 major capital construction projects at the same time and keeping this county running. And so I also want to thank Cliff Sevier and Dennis Bailey personally, who worked through this process with us and started the annex process. The auditor, the treasurer, Grant Works, Hill and Wilkinson, Broadus, Park Hill, everyone that worked so hard. I think we're at that end stage, and I think we did an amazing job for the people of Rockwall County of turning this $20.3 million of federal funds into some very seriously awesome capital projects that were greatly needed. And it's those sorts of investments that allows this court to be able to focus our attention on roads and getting back into the Trip 21, because now we don't have to worry about how do we fund these other projects, because we were able to use those, get them under budget, get them done. So anyways, that's where we are with the ARPA, and that's just kind of what I wanted to just kind of recap and summarize for the court. I don't know if you all have any questions, but we're really close closing out that annex building.
I would like to make a couple statements about that. We came in under budget, which is a monumental task when you're working for government. The default setting is spend to the money you have plus a little bit more. So that the effort, and it was a team effort to bring this in under budget. And never did I think when we were newly elected, we were sitting here worried about, we had to have the funds obligated by the end of this year, and we have to have them spent by the end of next year. And we were worried because we were having robust discussion of how we were going to spend the money. Well, we're going to finish under budget with a $3.7 million surplus. We're going to get 3 projects done, and we're going to conservatively finish 10 months early. So if you'd have told me we were going to be here, I would have challenged your assessment. But here we are. So thank you everyone for your hard work. It truly has been a combined team effort, and the county is better off for it.